Hey, guess what? I got a job you're going to love. Nice and easy. This is strictly a salvage mission. No crazy shit, I promise. One of those old pre-FTL generation ships from the 2000s, the Mugangwa, or however you pronounce that, just popped up on my radar. Its disappearance was apparently some big, unsolved mystery. Never made it to its destination, I guess. It's just drifting lifelessly in orbit around Antares B. I'll send you the exact coordinates. Pretty hard to get a visual on. Probably why nobody's found it before. The sponsor for this one is a big historical society from the outer colonies. Here's what the objective card says. Download any log files you can, especially any that can explain what happened to the ship. If possible, speak with the security AI, Mute, for assistance. It's a good, easy gig, and I want you to take this one. It should be asocial enough for you. I don't want to hear any complaints. Dispatch Control, out.
If ever there was an indie title that I didn't expect to sneak up and hit me like a ton of bricks, it would have to be Analogue, A Hate Story. Upon seeing this title on Steam one day, it leapt out at me, because it looked conspicuously unlike most games available. To be more specific, it looked like a dating sim game, which, above everything else, is an odd type of game to see on Steam. Going out on a limb, I purchased the title, let it sit, and then played through it months later. Much to my surprise, despite the game's short playtime, the events and writing left me absolutely stunned and speechless. The basic premise of Analogue, A Hate Story is that sometime in the 25th century, a large space colony set off from Earth, but never reached its destination. Centuries later, after the invention of lightspeed drives, the ship is found, and you, an independent salvager, pick up the job to extract the ship's logs from its mainframe. However, whenever you dock and remotely access the central computer, you find out that the mainframe is password locked and inaccessible. Furthermore, you also discover that one of the ship's central AI is still functioning. In an effort to do your job, you're forced to interact with the AI, and thanks to a half-broken communication link, you also can't properly talk to it. The result is, you're stuck sifting through the ship's logs manually in an attempt to find the mainframe passcode. You start with a small group of entries the AI supplies you with, and when you find something of interest, you show the entry to the AI, and she then pulls up similar or related logs. It doesn't take much to find the password you're looking for, but by the time you garner this information, you'll have sifted through enough logs to hopefully have your interest perked. At this point, you can simply enter the passphrase, download the files, and end the game. Or you can keep reading and try to understand what ultimately happened to the colony's residents. There were many things at work on the space colony, and some of the elements are never fully explained. At some point, there was a massive data loss, the colony's social structure regressed as a result, and eventually a girl called the Pale Bride appears, who is centric to the game's story. It's the mystery of discovering who the Pale Bride was, who she became, and what happened to her and everyone else on the colony that makes Analogue, A Hate Story compelling. While uncovering the game's story is what truly drives the experience, Analogue is also well written. Most of the log entries you read do truly convey the game's title, A Hate Story. What's more surprising, though, is how whenever you start to connect the dots for yourself, figuring out who was who and what happened, the predictable events still manage to be surprising, and in some cases gut-wrenching whenever you finally read them. The reason for this is because the writing is of rather high quality. The way each log is written properly and efficiently conveys how each person felt while recording his or her thoughts. Everything from internal conflict to the description of physical contact or confrontation reads as authentic and convincing. This isn't true across the board, though. For instance, the main AI you interact with becomes increasingly emotional as the story progresses, which feels odd considering she, or rather it, is a computer program. Nonetheless, this serves as only a minor setback to a much larger positive experience. Analogue, A Hate Story isn't a perfect game, and it's not the type of title for everyone. However, the unique experience it offers is far more valuable than what many titles today deliver. At such a low price point, and because it's not egregiously long like some similar titles available, it's definitely one of the better indie games I've played. This has been a video blog from B10g.net, and I'm William Strife, signing out after looking at another unusual, albeit worthwhile, independently developed game. See you later.